And a good afternoon to you from Brunswick Community College today on YouTube. Dolphins basketball as Brunswick winds down this 2021 season against Spartanburg Methodist. Today's game brought to you by 3G Transport. Hi again, everybody. Chris Schema, glad to be with you. The Pioneers of Spartanburg coming in at 7-6, 1-4 on the road, 4-5 in Region 10 play. Your Dolphins 11-3, 5-2 at home, 6-2 in Region 10 play. Spartanburg coming off a 83-80 overtime heartbreaking loss to Cape Fear yesterday. The second overtime game of the year. We'll talk more about that. Dolphins coming off that 16-point win against Denmark Tech, 67-51 on Thursday. Jalen Johnson had 12 in that one as Brandon Johnson and Hall for Spartanburg tip it up, and that's an easy win for Brandon Johnson, so Brunswick will control. Pioneers lead the all-time series 35-15. Brunswick has won the last four meetings, including the only other overtime game for Spartanburg this year. It was 92-90 in overtime in Spartanburg on the road for Brunswick back on February 13th. Spartanburg actually outshot the Dolphins in that game, 45% to 42%. Brunswick was 17 of 24 from the free throw line, however, to just 10 of 14 for the Pioneers. Brunswick was also plus 12 in rebounding. Avery Jones led the Pioneers with 27. Dolphins' Jalen Johnson had 25 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Petrie had 23. Hancock with 13 and 12. So a foul to start the game sends R.J. Bell to the line. Good free throw shooting team for Spartanburg. Going to have to keep them off the free throw line. Not as much at stake in this game for Brunswick. As the week shaped up, Brunswick has clinched clinched home court in the first two rounds of the Region 10 tournament, and they will play Cape Fear for the Region 10 regular season crown on Wednesday, no matter what happens in this game. So, this is Cameron McNeil at the line on the offensive rebound. 2 quick fouls on Brunswick. Cameron McNeil, 77% off on that one. Cameron is not a player who played in the first meeting between these two teams, but he's been red hot. 21 points in his last 4 games, over 50% shooting in 4 of the last 5 games, as he gets 1 out of 2 here to make it 2-0 in favor of Spartanburg, who shows an early trapping pressure here with Dixon, Kuntz, now back to Dixon, and he'll bring it into the front court. That was poked away, last touch by Bell for Spartanburg. So Dolphins' second possession here, trying to get on the board. So again, if the Dolphins lose today, they'd go to 6-3. They'd be second. Cape Fear is 7-2. However, Brunswick loses today, beats Cape Fear on Wednesday, they would sweep the regular season from Cape Fear, have that tiebreaker over them, and be the Region 10 regular season top seed, which you really want to be. Reese McDonald out on the wing, shot clock down to 7. He attacks, stripped. Good defense by McNeil. McNeil into the forecourt now on the near side of your screen. Again, a really good player who we didn't see in the first meeting between these two teams. R.J. Bell playing out deep. Still 12 on the shot clock. This is Jones. McNeil, shot clock down to 7 now. Cut off on the circle. Reese stays with him. Good defense by McDonald there. Fantastic defense. Dolphins trying to get out on the run. Pioneers getting back. Kuntz almost had it stripped. 3 defenders around him. And now an offensive foul is called as Hall took the charge. Was Hall in the restricted area? That's 2 on Kuntz. And no, he was nowhere near the restricted area. Good call there. So 3 team fouls already on the Dolphins. Fouls have been a problem this year, and you've heard me kind of lambast the officials all year. There's been a few questionable ones, let's put it that way, but the Dolphins really got to shore this up ahead of Wednesday's game and into region tournament time in a couple of weeks. Turnaround shot is in for Jones after a couple bounces. Spartanburg up 4-0. Into the forecourt, it's Dixon on the wing, looking underneath Brandon Johnson, and he's blocked from behind. Boy, Cameron Neal doing just about everything so far for the Pioneers. Again, didn't play in the first meeting between these two schools. 17 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.5 steals, and just under a block a game. Great stat line for him. Jalen Johnson with the hand in his face. And Jones gets the rebound for the Pioneers. So good start for Spartanburg. Here's McNeil over to Jones on the wing. Top of the key, Bell. Bell with the fake, drives, got it over Hancock, and a good start for Spartanburg, 6-0. They played, I watched the last couple of minutes against Cape Fear yesterday as Brandon Johnson can't get it to go, follows his shot, blocked again. Jalen Johnson out to Reese. Extra possession for the Dolphins, but they played a nip-and-tuck game against Cape Fear, lost a heartbreaker in overtime. Dixon short from the elbow, and Dolphins are cold at the start. R.J. Bell, extra pass to Hall, back to R.J., turnaround shot, yes, and the foul. Talked to Walter Shaw before the game to get clarification, and he hadn't told the players that this game didn't matter, but they're certainly coming out of the gate like it doesn't. They've got 4 fouls, 0 points, and down by 8. Cameron Spain comes into the game. Deontay Petrie checking in as well. I did see Josiah Shackelford suited up today, didn't get the start. R.J. Bell completes the old school 3-point play, and this is a good start for a dangerous Pioneers team. They're 4-5 in Region 10 play. This team is so much better than that, though. Hancock, now McDonald from Petrie out on the wing. Dolphins trying to get on the board here. Jarian Hancock. Jalen Johnson spins. Lost the dribble, able to gather, and got the bucket. Jalen Johnson's been hot of late. 15.3 points per ball game, shooting 63% from the field in his last 4 games as he gets Brunswick on the board here. About 4 minutes in, 16-18 left to go here in the opening half, and it's 9-2. McNeil into the circle, steps left of the lane, fires the jumper off the back iron. Cameron Spain into the game, pulls down the rebound. McDonald into the forecourt. Petrie, double team, pass goes through Spain, but Reese McDonald has it top of the key over to Petrie for 3. Yes! Deontay Petrie had a good game in the first meeting between these two teams. He had 23 points. Comes off the bench, buries a triple there. 36% three-point shooter. Deontay, he's been over 50% 6 times this year from the field. Really good shooter at 43% overall for the season. But if he's feeling it, keep feeding him. Butler gets it out to the wing. Bell cut off, traveled. Good defense there by Hancock. We've seen some really good one-on-one defense so far from Reese McDonald and Jarian Hancock in the early going of this one. So Dolphins were blanked 9-0, but settling themselves down here on a Sunday afternoon. McDonald, bounce pass to Spain. Spain backing down his defender. Too easy. Nice job by Cameron Spain. He is shooting 73% now. He hasn't gotten a lot of shots off, but 73% from the field this year. Butler losing control and turning it over. So first 9 to Spartanburg, 7-0 run for Brunswick, 14:51 to go here in the opening half, and it'll be Dolphins basketball. Chance to tie or take the lead here. Jalen Johnson into the forecourt. Petrie on the right. Attacks, throws it up off the glass. No, tipped up and in by Jarian Hancock, and a foul. Let's take a look at this one more time. Jarian Hancock getting up on this rebound attempt. As you see, Petrie, the runner, no good, and then just ups for Jarian. 53% shooter from the free throw line and from the field this season, Jarian Hancock. Can't complete the old school 3-point play. Rebound controlled by Hall for Spartanburg. Pioneers into the forecourt, all tied at 9. We've had two different 9-0 runs to get us to this stage. First for Spartanburg and then for Brunswick. This is Jones on the far side. That three is up short. Reese McDonald the rebound. Look out. He's got guys running after him. Got it out to Hancock. Now Jalen Johnson on the right. Johnson into the lane, stripped but fouled. That, I believe, the second team foul on Spartanburg. Brunswick racked up 4 quick ones early, but they've played cleaner since then as Skylar Davies comes into the game. How about the bench for Brunswick against Denmark on Thursday? They had 39 points, 39 of the 67. Petrie out to Reese, catch and shoot from 3, yes! Reese McDonald buries the triple. It's a 12-0 run from Brunswick as they lead it by 3. 13:47 to go. Top of the key, RJ Bell with the fake. Nice fake. And RJ with the bucket. That stops the 12-zip run. RJ Bell had 10 points in the first meeting between these two teams. Petrie on the wing. Cameron Spain calling for it. Jalen Johnson spinning, cut off, got it out to Reese from the right side. Yes, again. Reese McDonald, back-to-back triples, 15-11 Brunswick, 13:16 left to go. Here in this opening half, RJ Bell rises for 3, off the back iron, McDonald the board. Bounce pass to Petrie on the left wing. Petrie attacks, cut off by 2 defenders. Swings it out, McDonald wanted to shoot it. Instead, he'll wisely back it out. Good defense there by Jones. Skylar Davies up top. Petrie on the baseline. Too high. Davies recovers. Reese McDonald open in the corner. Can he go 3 for 3? No. Misses that one. Davies chases it down. Here's Cameron Spain. And did you see that from Petrie? Petrie boxed out the defender. Let's run this back as Nori Johnson calls for time for Spartanburg. We got to run this one back, though. That was a beautiful play by Petrie to just box out the defender. Now look at him. He sees what's going to happen. Okay, get that butt on him. There you go. Easy dunk for Cameron Spain, but I'm giving an assist to Petrie for that one. Timeout, we'll step aside, come back. A shout out to 3-Dimensional Fitness for training the Brunswick basketball programs. Take a look at the standings. Here's what I was talking about. So Cape Fear half game up right now on Brunswick, defeating these Pioneers earlier yesterday. But basically Brunswick will play Cape Fear on Wednesday for the Region 10 regular season championship. That is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for that one. 17-2 extended run for Brunswick has them up by 6. 12:29 to go in the opening half. Chris Sheeman back here with you. Jones top of the key over to Johnson into the game. Harold Johnson, good shooter at 64%. Ball swung to Jones from NBA range. Rims in the 3. Avery Jones had 27 in the first meeting. 42% shooter from behind the arc this year. Got to stay on him. Jalen Johnson, short on the jumper. Reese McDonald, offensive rebound. Jalen Reese now over to Petrie on the wing. Skylar Davies posting up, has some size advantage here as he goes to the hoop. Blocked from behind, no foul, and good defense by the Pioneers. Into the forecourt now, this is McNeil. McNeil, that ball's tipped. Can Brunswick save it? No, they say Davies was out of bounds. 11:33 on the clock, 19 on the shot clock here in this opening half. Couple of big runs for both teams as that was Avery Jones with another bucket from the corner. Skylar Davies traveled with the basketball. Nori Johnson screaming for the call right near the official, who's likely going to have a headache after this game's over. Like Brunswick, Pioneers, very unselfish team. 2 players average at least 4 assists. I mentioned McNeil, one of those guys. 3 with at least 3.5 assists per game. Dolphins averaging 19.3 assists per ball game. Once again, one of the leaders in the NJCAA in that category. In fact, they're 13th getting the stop. Now Petrie draws contact on McNeil. Third team foul on Spartanburg, 1-point game. If you're just joining us, Spartanburg scored the first 9 points. Brunswick went on a 17-2 run to make it 17-11. Then Spartanburg's answered back to close it to a 1-point deficit. And now here's Petrie at the line. Deontay, 71% free throw shooter. In and out on that free throw. Dolphins did a great job getting to the free throw line against Spartanburg in the upstate back in February. Petrie gets 1 out of 2. Brunswick leads by 2 now. Coming into the game, Brennan Bynum had 13 points for Spartanburg. Brennan Bynum checking in for Cameron McNeil. 3 is good by Petrie, and the Dolphins are scorching hot from behind the arc, 21-18. 10:27 left to go in the half, nearing the midway point. Bynum swings it left side. Pull-up shot is short. Davies the board. Jalen Johnson behind his back. Turns on the Jets. Cut off. Ball deflected out to Trey Cousin, who's come into the game. Shackelford in as well as he tries to put back the Cousin miss. Scrum for it. Johnson's got it on the baseline. He attacks and is fouled. 4 team fouls now on Spartanburg. I said McNeil came out. McNeil's still out there. McNeil, Johnson, Jones, Hall, and Bynum is the 5 right now for Nori Johnson. For Brunswick, Jalen Johnson for 3 in the corner. Yes, and the Dolphins can't miss from 3 right now. 24-18 Brunswick. So Jalen Johnson, Josiah Shackelford, Trey Cousin is out there, Petrie, and Skylar Davies. That's the 5 right now for Brunswick. Empty possession for the Pioneers. Petrie pushes across the timeline into the forecourt, takes it right at the lane. Petrie, and another reach. That's going to be on McNeil. That's his second. He'll stay out there. Chris Paez coming into the game. Jones will go to the bench. Brunswick basketball. 5th team foul on Spartanburg. Jalen Johnson, open look. Buries another 3. Brunswick's made at least its last 5 3-pointers. Leading now 27-18. So after we were tied at 18 apiece, now Brunswick on another run, rattling off 9 straight points. Inside 9 to play here in the half. McNeil attacks, can't get it to go. And Trey Cousin, nice rebound. Cousin lost the dribble, though. Good defense by the Pioneers. No whistle there as Bynum went hard to the bucket, and it's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Spartanburg. Reese McDonald back into the game. Looks like Tylen Green going to make his first appearance for Walter Shaw as well. Walter Shaw, 21 seasons, up to 403 victories now as head coach at Brunswick. McDonald takes it left of the lane, thought about the step back. Cousin attacks, and he's called for the offensive foul. Got that arm up a little too high, and Pioneers taking one for the team. This ends the regular season for Spartanburg. They entered the weekend on a 5-game winning streak. They're 6th in Division I in free throw percentage, top 25 in three-point shooting. But right now, it's Brunswick who's hot from behind the arc. 9 straight points for the Dolphins. Spartanburg with the basketball, 8:12 to go in the half. That pass intended for Jenkins was deflected by Brunswick. Dayon Jenkins into the game for the first time here this afternoon. So it'll be Bynum the inbound, 15 on the shot clock. Catch and shoot for McNeil in the corner. Can't leave him open, and he rims it in. That's a 3, I believe. Yes, it is. 36% three-point shooter. As I mentioned, 21 points per ball game in his last 4 coming into this weekend. Reese McDonald, Trey Cousin up top. Here is Jalen on the wing. Pass to Shackelford. Shackelford using his body and taking a hard foul. Josiah will go back to the free throw line. How about the season for Shaq? 13.2 points per ball game, shooting 62% from the field. 9 rebounds a game. Block and a half. He averages half of the team's blocks per game. Josiah, what a player he has been. 16th foul on Spartanburg, by the way. So Dolphins will be in the bonus. Shackelford 1 out of 2. Trey Cousin, can he hang on to it? Yes, put back, good. Trey Cousin makes it a 9-point game again. Trey is 6'4", but he plays much bigger than that when it comes to rebounding. Catch and shoot 3, in and out. Tip up and good. So it's a 7-point game. That was Jenkins, I believe, on that tip for Spartanburg. Jalen Johnson between the circles now for Brunswick. 17 on the shot clock. Gets a screen. Here's Green. Oh, Tylen Green had trouble with it. Paez with the steal. On the far side, it's McNeil stepping into a 3 off the back iron. And Tylen Green tied up. Called a jump ball already. Bodies all over the floor with it. And I believe they did call the jump ball. I didn't see the signal there. It's going to stay with Spartanburg. 6:49 to go here in the half. We're going to have a timeout. Dolphins scorching from behind the arc. They have a 7-point lead, 30-23. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Though many areas of life still seem to be paused right now, your individual goals are not. Let Brunswick Community College help you push play on your goals, earn your degree, and get your career back in full motion. We are here for you, with personalized services to help you be successful every step of the way. Register today at www.brunswickcc.edu. Brunswick Community College. We're here for you.
Dolphins basketball is brought to you by 3G Transport. Chris Sheeman here with you, 6:49 to go here in the half as Hall comes into the game and buries a three for Spartanburg. 3-point shootout here. Tylen Green, that's Trey Cousin for three. Can't get the friendly bounce. Tip for the rebound. Green pokes it away. Shackelford to Green. Green throws it up too strong. Green tries to tip it. Reese McDonald has it. He's grabbed, and traveling is the call. I don't know. It looks like players were draped all over Reese McDonald's arm, and that spun him out of control, and that's the reason why he traveled. But as we have learned this year, it doesn't matter what I think. So it'll be Pioneers basketball. If you're just joining us, it's been an odd game of runs. 9 straight to start the game for Spartanburg. 17-2 run followed by Brunswick. We were tied at 18, then Brunswick scored 9 straight, and as you can see, we're a little tighter now at 30-26. This game, not really meaningful to the Dolphins here today. They've already determined that they will host for at least the first 2 rounds of the Region 10 tournament. The question now is Brunswick the 1 seed? Is Brunswick the 2 seed? A win today will move them back to number 1, but really it comes down to the win against Cape Fear. If they win on Wednesday against Cape Fear, as Spartanburg gets the bucket and the foul here, that was Bynum. Strong move to the bucket. He's a good attacking player. We've seen him. Both teams with 6 team fouls, 6:07 left to go here in this opening half. So really, all Brunswick has to do on Wednesday is win. Now, if Cape Fear wins, Brunswick wins today, Cape Fear wins on Wednesday. Let's see, Cape Fear would, I think, only have 2 losses, and Brunswick would have 3. I got to think about this for a second. Yeah, so if Cape Fear... So if Brunswick needs to win this, basically, to keep pace with Cape Fear, and then if they lose to Cape Fear after beating Spartanburg today, assuming that's the way it all plays out, then you're in the other tiebreakers because Cape Fear and Brunswick would have split the regular season. But let's not worry about that. Jalen Johnson behind the back takes it to the wing. Hancock top of the key. Spartanburg looks like in a bit of a zone. Jalen Johnson stays hot with the turnaround from the half circle. Brunswick back on top, 32-30. Right now, Cape Fear, Brunswick, both with 2 Region 10 losses. One of those for Cape Fear was against Brunswick. Jalen Johnson is fouled by Bynum, and Johnson's going to the free throw line. 85% free throw shooter. Jalen at the line for a 1-and-1. Now, if Brunswick loses today and Cape Fear wins on Wednesday, then Cape Fear would be the top seed. The reason why, if you weren't with us on Thursday, the reason why it's important to be the top seed is the 2 seed, assuming they win their opening round game, would likely have to play Harcum, who is in the top 20 poll right now in the NJCAA. Harcum is in another region, but they don't have a region tournament this year because they're the only school playing, so it was agreed upon that they would join the Region 10 tournament, and basically they're playing a play-in game against, I believe, Lancaster. I'm not 100% on that, but they're playing a play-in game against somebody. The winner of that play-in game comes to Brunswick's Region 10 tournament as the 3 seed, and would advance to the semifinal game to play the 2 seed, assuming that the 2 seed wins. So you really want to be the 1 seed to avoid having to play a top 20 program in the semifinals. Oh, they got that off in time? Are you kidding me? That was Jaden Bird off the bench. With the shot clock winding down, Jaden Bird had 12 off the bench in the first meeting between these 2 schools. They have no answer for Shackelford. And I believe we might have an intentional foul called here. No. was just a double whistle there. So Shackelford got pushed in the back. 1 point game again. I really like, other than, I mean, you do what you can in COVID times. So, letting another team into the tournament is the sportsmanship thing to do. But other than that, I really like the format. This regular season means so much more. This is the first time in 4 years that I've talked at all about seeding and who wins the regular season. Because normally they just play the tournament at a neutral location, usually at, I think, one of the D1 or D2, schools host the D1 tournament. And, it couldn't matter less, really, other than matchups, I guess. But this means something. Dolphins are going to have home court for at least the first two. Try to avoid that potential semifinal game with a top 20 program in the country. Nearing 4 to go. Jarian Hancock back out there. Shackelford, Petrie. Deuce Dixon has come back into the game, and Reese McDonald. So Jalen Johnson checking out. Reese Petrie and Jalen Johnson have been the two hottest hands, or the three hottest hands. Petrie missing with the shot clock at 7. Here comes Spartanburg now. 3:20 left to go here in this opening half. Bird hands it off to Jones. Jones around Dixon. In the corner, Paez. Jones extra pass to Jenkins. Swings it out to Johnson, who throws up a wild shot, and that's going to be off Shackelford. With 2 on the shot clock, Spartanburg's going to have to get it up quickly. Johnson thought he was going to get a whistle there. Dolphins had 4 fouls in like the first 2 minutes. They're still on 6 with 2:58 left to go. Their defense has gotten cleaner as the afternoon has gone on. So 2 to shoot for Spartanburg. Jenkins is in the corner. Paez is stepping into the near side corner. Here comes Deuce Dixon to keep an eye on him. And they got Bird and Johnson in the post. Now Bird steps out to the wing. Oh, they said the ball hit the shot clock, so they reset the shot clock to 20. I don't think so. Jenkins underneath gets it to go. It's a 1 point game again, 36 to 35. McDonald, Dixon on the wing. Here's Reese. Again, 2-3 for Spartanburg. Shackelford looking to post up. Instead, it's Petrie on the right side. Shot clock down to 9. Petrie splits the defense. Out to Reese. Corner 3. Too strong. Shackelford, the putback. Yes. Josiah Shackelford answers back. 38-35, the lead. 3 points again for Brunswick. 2:09 left to go here in this well-played first half. Johnson attacks. Blocked by Hancock. My goodness. Jarian Hancock swats it away. McNeil will inbound. McNeil, Jones, Jenkins, Johnson, and Paez are the 5 for Spartanburg as Brunswick commits a foul. 1-and-1 time for Spartanburg. Jenkins going to go to the free throw line. Hancock, Petrie, Shackelford, Deuce, and Reese in the backcourt for Walter Shaw's team. Deion Jenkins is a 77% free throw shooter. I mentioned a good free throw shooting team, Spartanburg, 6th in Division I at 76 a game as a team. 1:54 left to go here in this opening half. Chance for the Pioneers to cut it to 1. 1 out of 2. Shackelford the rebound. Here comes Brunswick. Dixon into the forecourt. Guarded by Jones. Man defense now for the Pioneers as they switch it up again. Shackelford over 2 defenders. And Jenkins saying, "What do you want from me?" as he fouls him again. 10 team fouls now on the Pioneers, so Brunswick in the double bonus, but Josiah was in the act of shooting. I was thinking how nice it'd be to have a color commentator on some of these games to provide a little better insight, and got me thinking about Josiah's uncle. Wish that he was still with us. It'd be fun to have Charles Shackelford on the broadcast, wouldn't it? Somebody who left us too soon, way too soon. He was a character, too. He would have been great on a broadcast. 1:26 left to go. Catch and shoot for Johnson for 3 off the back rim. Chasing down the rebound, Brunswick, and Lawson into the game. Had the rebound, lost it, then diving for it. He's fouled, they say. Tough call on the Pioneers there as Johnson for Spartanburg. Can't believe it, but Cameron Lawson going to go to the free throw line. 50% free throw shooter. Again, Brunswick in the double bonus here. Fouls were a problem for Spartanburg in the first meeting between these two schools back in February. Brunswick shot 17 out of 24 from the free throw line. And the Pioneers were just 10 of 14. Lawson gets them both, and Brunswick leads by 5 now, 41-36. As we wind down this opening half, approaching 1 minute to go, 1:07 to be exact. Pull up 3 is good. That was Paez burying that 3. He had 16 in the first meeting, 42% three-point shooter. This is a good shooting team. Dolphins picked the right game to be hot. As Lawson traveled with the basketball, they say, so ball going back to Spartanburg. Spartanburg 2-0 against Salkehatchie. They'll be no worse than the 4 seed in the Region 10 tournament. Top of the key, McNeil for 3. He's off. Hancock tries to save it. And Spartanburg's going to get some free throws. Is that McNeil? No, that's Jones. My apologies. Jones took a hard shot. He's shaken up. 26 seconds to go in the half. Avery Jones will go to the line, but they're going to give him a minute to gather himself. Jones had about 13 points per ball game. He had 27 in the first meeting between these two programs. As he shakes off the cobwebs, he's 69% at the line. Chance to tie the ball game. We were tied at 18. Trying to remember other ties. Both teams have been streaky here in this half. Mason Hall into the game for the Pioneers. R.J. Bell returning as well for the final 26 seconds. Deuce Dixon in for Lawson for Brunswick as we wrap up this opening half. Jones for the tie. Buries it. Even Steven at 41. Brunswick can hold for the final shot of the half. Jalen Johnson back into the game. Will bring it into the forecourt, guarded by Bell. And Walter Shaw says, let's hold it here for the final shot. Well played first half for both of these teams. Jalen Johnson with the clock winding down, threw it away. Bad pass there over Dixon. So Spartanburg will have a couple seconds to try to get it up the court and get a quick one here. It'll be Harold Johnson inbound for Spartanburg. Jones in the backcourt. Jones at the buzzer. Can't get it to go. Had a good look as he went right to the hoop. Nothing decided after 20 minutes. We are tied at 41. Dolphins and Pioneers in a battle. We'll take time for the half and come back and bring you all the second half action in about 15 minutes. Don't go too far.
Hello, my name is Walter Shaw. I am the director of the Health and Fitness Science program at Brunswick Community College. Please join me as we explore the world of health and fitness science.
Dolphins basketball is brought to you by 3G Transport, and we thank them for their support all year long. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Well, if you missed the first half, you missed a lot of three-point shooting. Reese McDonald had 3 3-pointers. Jalen Johnson also had 3 3-pointers as we run it back before we start the second half. All tied at 41, though. Spartanburg shooting well as well in this game. Jarian Hancock turning, and the bucket is no good as we're underway here in the final period. Again, not much at stake today for the Dolphins. Brunswick will play Cape Fear for the Region 10 title on Wednesday, regular season title, and the top seed for the upcoming tournament, which for Brunswick will start on the 6th. Turnaround shot by McNeil for the Pioneers as Spartanburg starts the second half scoring party. Brunswick looking to sweep and win their 5th straight against the Pioneers. Jarian Hancock has it top of the key. Reese McDonald on the wing. Christian Kuntz quiet first half, and he turns it over to start the second half. McNeil throws it underneath. Correction, that was Butler throwing it underneath for McNeil, and a little bit off the mark, so Pioneers turn it right back over. This is a team, Spartanburg, that normally has trouble shooting the basketball on the road. They're shooting 13 percentage points less on the road from the field and 12 percentage points less from 3, but they've liked Brunswick's gym here this afternoon, playing well. Jarian Hancock fakes the 3, runner on the baseline is good, and we're tied again at 43. If you're just joining us, Spartanburg scored the first 9 points of the game. Brunswick had a 17-2 run and a 9-0 run at various stages of the first half, but both teams competing pretty well here in this game as Hall was fouled. Same starting 5, Christian Kuntz, Reese McDonald, Deuce Dixon, Brandon Johnson, Jarian Hancock for Walter Shaw. Same as well for Norrie Johnson's team. That's Cameron McNeil, Mason Hall, Avery Jones, Ephraim Butler, and R.J. Bell. Hall to the bucket, comes up empty. Brandon Johnson the rebound. Reese McDonald into the forecourt on the far side of your screen. Turns on the Jets, cut off by the defense, looking for Kuntz. Christian Kuntz hands it off to McDonald, and they'll set up a play with 14 on the shot clock. Reese takes it left. Reese over 2 defenders, hangs and banks it. What a bucket there from Reese McDonald to put Brunswick back up on top by 2, 45-43. McNeil throws it far side for Butler. Butler back to McNeil, top of the key for 3, in and out. Brandon Johnson the board, here comes Brunswick. Dixon to McDonald. Back out to Deuce, catch and shoot 3, no. Hancock the rebound. Hancock turns, can't get it to go. I think if Jarian had shot it right away after he got that rebound, he'd have had an easy bucket. Hesitated for a moment there, and we're going to get R.J. Bell out of bounds. Looking for a blocking foul called. Instead, another turnover for the Pioneers. For Spartanburg, this is the end of the regular season for them. They'll figure out who they're going to play in the Region 10 tournament. I believe the tournament will be on April 6th, 8th, and 10th. Christian Kuntz looks like he might have gotten fouled. Hancock tried to save it on the miss, but McNeil takes it away. Jones into the forecourt. McNeil top of the key. McNeil attacks, leaving Bell open for 3 in the corner, and he hit it. Spartanburg back up 46-45. Pioneers coming off that heartbreaker in overtime against Cape Fear. Yesterday they lost that one 83-80. Cape Fear currently half game up on Brunswick. Hancock for 3, can't get it to go. Another rebound for McNeil as he brings it into the forecourt. Scoops it over to Jones, turns on the Jets, and he's fouled. Jones will shoot a couple. Spartanburg playing just its second overtime game of the year against Cape Fear yesterday, the other being against these Dolphins in the upstate. Brunswick won that one 92-90. That seems so long ago, doesn't it? It was a month and a half ago. First free throw no good for Jones. Deontay Petrie coming in. Deuce Dixon will come out. Jalen Johnson also checking into the game. I'll tell you who came out for him here in just a moment. Brunswick able to break the press. Jalen Johnson, the runner, off the back rim. Kuntz, the offensive rebound. And it's last touched by the Pioneers. 2 team fouls on Brunswick, none yet for Spartanburg. So Brunswick going small here. They brought in Jalen Johnson and Petrie. Brandon Johnson remains out there. Kuntz and Reese. That's the 5 right now for Walter Shaw. Reese McDonald, 3 3-pointers in the first half. Underneath Brandon Johnson, a little bit short. And it's controlled by Jones, flying into the forecourt. Spartanburg looking to push, and that's deflected out of bounds as Butler was attacking. It's last touch by Brunswick. Cameron Spain checking into the game now as Brandon Johnson will sit down. So McNeil to inbound, 24 on the shot clock. Here's Butler, top of the key. Butler, right of the lane. Attacks, can't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Petrie. Almost lost the dribble, able to hand it off to McDonald, who brings it across midcourt. Dolphins trailing by 2. They've led by as many as 9 in the game. McDonald thought about the step back. Kuntz, extra pass. Jalen Johnson, open look. Short on the 3. Ball batted by McNeil. Controlled by Spartanburg. Jones, R.J. Bell looking for the cutter. Reese McDonald gets into that passing lane. And then Spain turns it right back over as R.J. Bell scores 2. Timeout on the court. We'll step aside. Spartanburg leading by 4. 15:06 left to go in the ball game. Dolphins basketball is brought to you by 3G Transport. Chris Sheeman back here with you. So we know Brunswick would host the first 2 rounds of the Region 10 tournament. There's the upcoming broadcast schedule. And got to win the first one, of course. What we don't know is who will be the Region 10 regular season champion. That'll be decided between Cape Fear and Brunswick on Wednesday. Dolphins turning the ball over out of the timeout. Jones on the run out, and Spartanburg leading by 6. Biggest lead of the half for either team. Spartanburg's led this game by as many as 9, as has Brunswick. Christian Kuntz attacks, scoops it up. Yes! That, I believe, is the first bucket for Christian Kuntz. He went through a period, March 4th to the 22nd, where he averaged about 23 points per ball game. Had just 7, though, against Denmark on Thursday, and a quiet afternoon as well today. Paez back into the game, gets it down low to Jones, I believe, who came up in a correction. That was R.J. Bell coming up short. Reese McDonald pushing. Kuntz in the corner, contested 3, no. Shackelford back in, gets the offensive rebound and bucket. Correction, that's Cameron Spain with the putback and bucket. So Cameron Spain with 4 points here this afternoon. R.J. Bell, heat check time. He's had a good start to the half. Reese McDonald off the miss with the rebound. Reese takes it out to the wing. 13:30 left to go. McDonald for 3. He is feeling it this afternoon. And Brunswick goes back up. No, they've only got 51 on the board. Was his foot on the line? Most likely the cause of that, so we're tied. Still at 51. Hall top of the key. Paez spinning. Bounce pass to Hall. Yes. Jalen Johnson, top of the key, was looking to attack. R.J. Bell staying with him. Christian Kuntz, deep 3, can't get the bounce. Paez the rebound for Spartanburg. Looking to push it again. McNeil swings it out. Jones, extra pass, Paez, and he's fouled. It'll be the 3rd team foul on Brunswick as Christian Kuntz will pick it up. Spain is out. Shackelford coming back into the game. Another wet spot out on the court. It's been humid this week. Not a surprise, there's some wet spots. R.J. Bell loses the handle. Christian Kuntz the steal. Hands it off to Johnson into the forecourt. Johnson top of the key. Looking underneath Shackelford. Threw it up for him, and he's bumped out of bounds. 3 team fouls on Brunswick here in the half. That's the first on Spartanburg with 12:27 left to go. McDonald inbound. Shackelford has it poked away. Good defense there by McNeil. And now Brunswick commits another foul. It'll be their 4th. Jalen Johnson, the guilty party. Harold Johnson coming in for Spartanburg, so Pioneers get the basketball back. Sloppy possession for Brunswick. Paez on the near side. Up top, Hall. Gets it back on the cut. Rejected by Shackelford. Reese McDonald throws it ahead as Christian Kuntz takes on 3 defenders and scores. We are tied at 53. Spartanburg into the forecourt quickly. Paez near side, takes it up top, into the circle, into the lane, over Shackelford. No, good defense by Josiah to alter that shot. Inside 12 to go, 11:42 to be exact. Kuntz attacks again. Shackelford, yes! Nice pass by Christian Kuntz as Brunswick goes up by 2. Paez from McNeil hands it off to Jones on the wing. Jones cut off in the lane. Open look for Hall for 3 off the back rim. Reese another rebound. Johnson into the forecourt. Here's Petrie, right side. Out of control, lost it. On the deflection, Paez with the steal for Spartanburg. Pioneers will set up a play. Spartanburg sweeping Salkehatchie this year. That guarantees they'll be no worse than a 4 seed in the tournament. Salkehatchie has moved to the 5th spot. Denmark down to 6th. So the top seed will likely play Denmark Tech. Another advantage of being the top seed, you can avoid playing Salkehatchie in the opening round and then possibly Harcum, a top 20 team, in the second round of the Region 10 tournament. That's a tough task. Although Spartanburg's having a down year, you know, they lost a couple of those big players, and Spartanburg getting the bucket and foul there. That was Harold Johnson, with the and one here as Brunswick starting to rack up the fouls. Timeout on the court. We're going to step aside. 3-point opportunity for Spartanburg when we come back.
Hello, my name is Walter Shaw. I am the Director of the Health and Fitness Science program at Brunswick Community College. Please join me as we explore the world of health and fitness science.
Dolphins basketball is brought to you by 3G Transports. We thank them for their support. Running back some nice attacking play there for Christian Kuntz. A quiet afternoon by his standards. Starting to get it going, though. And then more good play here from Brunswick as Reese McDonald hangs in the air and gets it to go. Meanwhile, Spartanburg, Johnson at the free throw line for a 3-point opportunity. Missed it. Shackelford the rebound, so Brunswick down just 2 here. Right at the midway point, but Brunswick 5 team fouls already, just 1 for Spartanburg down the stretch. Keep an eye on that. Christian Kuntz attacks, couple of fakes, hangs, and scores. So Kuntz, quiet first half, starting to look for his shot a little bit more here in the second half. We're tied again at 57 apiece. Almost a turnover on the far side, but McNeil able to stay with it. Jones directing traffic now for Spartanburg. Brunswick trying to sweep the season series, and Johnson travels for the Pioneers. Pioneers just 1 road win this year. That was at Salkehatchie. 4-5 in Region 10 play, 7-6 overall. Dolphins 5-2 at home, 11-3 overall, and 6-2 in Region 10 play. Half game right now behind Cape Fear, who's 7-2. Shackelford with the bucket. And we gave Spartanburg too many points. The correct score is 59-57 in favor of Brunswick. I gave a Brunswick bucket to Spartanburg by accident. Scoreboard has had a rough end to the year. Attacking McNeil, and what did they call there? Did they call goaltending on that? Looks like it. That'll tie us again at 59. Might have hit the backboard. I guess that was the call. So inside 9 to go, we are tied at 59 apiece. McDonald takes it left side. Jalen Johnson up top. Johnson splits 2 defenders, throws it underneath. Shackelford gathers and scores. They can get that anytime they want. Brunswick is having all kinds of success with Shackelford. He has the size advantage here this afternoon. Jones for Spartanburg, top of the key. Cut off by Jalen Johnson. Paez now with 14 on the shot clock. Looks for a screen. Kuntz on him on the switch. Attacks. Swings it out. That bucket no good. Tip for the rebound. It's Kuntz. Pull up. Face up. Yes! Christian Kuntz heating up, and Brunswick leads by 4. Inside 8 minutes left to go. 63-59. Paez far side. Up top it's Hall. Here's McNeil taking it to the bucket. Scoring in the foul. Chance for an old school three-point play from Cameron McNeil. This is not an easy shot here that we're going to take a look at. Christian Kuntz out on the run. Well defended, but so good on the pull-up. Christian Kuntz putting Brunswick up by 4 now. The free throw is no good, so it remains a 2-point game with 7.5 left to go. Petrie, Jalen Johnson, Reese, Shackelford, and Kuntz. That's the 5 right now. Reese, he got bumped. 6 team fouls on Brunswick, just 2 on Spartanburg. But the officiating has been really good today compared to how it's been pretty much all season long. Really, really well officiated game today. No snark in that either. It's the truth. Dolphins just too many fouls in the second half. Petrie turnaround shot. Gets it to rim in. Brunswick by 4 again. Nearing 7 minutes left to go. Dolphins trying to win their 12th of the year. Jones attacks. Jenkins back into the game. Has it on the block. Now back out to Jones. 10 to shoot for the Pioneers. Jones pull up. Called for steps. Turnover will give the ball back to Brunswick. Reese McDonald. Johnson had it poked away. 6:38 left to go in the game. Petrie swings it out. Kuntz for 3. Yes! Christian Kuntz has owned the second half for Brunswick. And the Dolphins lead by 7. Biggest lead for Brunswick here in the second period. Paez tries to answer with a 3. No. Shackelford, he was out of bounds, so it'll stay with Spartanburg. Bynum back into the game for Norrie Johnson's team. Spartanburg's going to be a tough out, whoever they go up against. Everybody's going to be a tough out in this turn. You have Denmark. Don't forget about Denmark, Salk. A lot of good teams. We have another timeout. We're going to step aside here briefly and come right back.
Though many areas of life still seem to be paused right now, your individual goals are not. Let Brunswick Community College help you push play on your goals, earn your degree, and get your career back in full motion. We are here for you with personalized services to help you be successful every step of the way. Register today at www.brunswickcc.edu. Brunswick Community College. We're here for you.
Dolphins basketball brought to you by 3G Transport. Chris Shima back here with you. Spartanburg trying to get it going here. Trailing now by 7, their biggest deficit of the half. And a traveling violation there on Jones will give the ball back to Brunswick. Christian Kuntz has been red hot here in the second half, helping the team out to this 7-point lead. Petrie to Johnson. Kuntz will try another one. Not that time. Shackelford, though, the offensive rebound. Loses the handle on it. Collapsing defense. Johnson for the Pioneers takes it away. 5.5 left to go. Spartanburg hanging around. And now the 7th team foul called on Brunswick. So a 1-1 the rest of the way for Spartanburg. Kuntz picks up his 4th. That's a huge call there. Christian Kuntz is going to have to come out. Jenkins going to the line, 77% free throw shooter. Trey Cousin going to come in for Kuntz. But that's a big loss for Brunswick. Kuntz was finding his rhythm here in the second half. Front end of the 1-1 is good. Jenkins will get another chance to make it a 5-point game. Into the regular season for Spartanburg. They'll await the seeding and everything and see how it all plays out to determine where their first game will be. I believe they're going to host the first round game. Shackelford throwing it down with a thunderous dunk. Brunswick by 8. What a jam. He's going to take a rim down one of these days. Jones from way downtown off the back iron. Reese McDonald pushing. Jalen Johnson. Petrie's wide open for 3. Yes! And Brunswick takes its biggest lead of the afternoon, 73-62. Bynum got to attack, draws the foul. 4:38 left to go. More free throws to come for Brennan Bynum, who shoots at 81%. He is third best on the team. They have 3 guys over 80% shooting free throws. Bynum, R.J. Bell, and Mason Hall. 6th in Division I in free throw percentage as a team at 76%. Spartanburg Methodist short on that one. Well, the Dolphins on Wednesday going to play for their first regular season Region 10 title since 2014. They've won 4 total, 2 tournament titles, went to the NJCAA National Tournament in 2010. Both free throws missed. Lane violation, though, is going to give Spartanburg another crack at it here. It looks like Johnson came in too quickly is what the official is saying. So you got an 80% shooter on the line. You get him to miss 2, and then you commit the lane violation. So he gets 1. Still double-digit lead for Brunswick, though. Their shooting has been on the money. They gotta keep this rhythm going into Wednesday. I cannot wait. That's going to be a wild game. This is a Cape Fear team that had really owned Brunswick for really since 2014, to be honest. And then Brunswick won last year. That's a tough call against Shackelford, who got him with the body, they say. And Brunswick is up to 9 team fouls now. That's 3 on Shackelford. So Spartanburg able to hang around here at the free throw line. R.J. Bell now, as I mentioned, he's 85% free throw shooter. These guys are almost automatic. You cannot keep fouling them. But Brunswick ended a long losing streak to Cape Fear last year, then beat them at Cape Fear earlier this year, and Brunswick was up big for a good part of that game too. So a lot on the line on Wednesday. You know the Sea Devils are going to bring it. Dolphins play like this, though. They're going to be tough to beat. McDonald, extra pass, unselfish play. Reese McDonald to Petrie for 2. It's the Dolphins' game to lose here, 75-64 with 3:40 left to go. Jalen Johnson attacks. Petrie, extra pass, Cousin, yes! That's championship basketball right there, sharing it. making the extra pass, not overpassing, making the correct play. That's off the leg. Trey Cousin with the steal. Reese McDonald is fouled. Cameron Spain checking into the game. If Brunswick's able to hang on here and it's looking good, then we're going to get into a real interesting situation. Let's talk hypothetically here in a 13-point game, and let's say Cape Fear does win on Wednesday, which they very well can. Then both teams will have split the season, and we'll go to the second tiebreaker, and as of right now, I haven't asked anybody what that is. I assume win percentage, maybe. We'll have to see. Maybe conference win percentage, because remember, teams like Cape Fear, I don't think they played outside of the conference this year, except for maybe one or two early season games. Brunswick's definitely played more games. So I got to think maybe, well, it can't be conference win percentage because they would be tied. Johnson gets it to bounce up and in. Let me correct myself here. Brunswick's going to be 7-2 in the region. Cape Fear is going to be 7-2 in the region. So if Cape Fear wins on Wednesday, they win outright. There's no tiebreaker because then they go to 8-2 in the region, and the Dolphins would go to 7-3. So let me correct that. Brunswick's got to win. It doesn't matter that they've beat them once already. Do I have that right? Boy, it's been like a week of numbers in my head, and I got that Bowling Green education. You gotta go easy on me. Trey Cousin loses it, and they call a foul. That'll be the fourth on Spartanburg. But I think that's right. Brunswick's going to be 7-2 after this game's over. Cape Fear will be 7-2. If Cape Fear wins over Brunswick on Wednesday, then Cape Fear would be 8-2. Brunswick would be 7-3. So, okay, that makes sense now. So Brunswick does have to win on Wednesday. The only way that would have come into play would have been if, I guess, Cape Fear would have lost on Saturday against these Pioneers. Trey Cousin in a 16-point game, 2:37 left to go. Boy, the Dolphins pull away here in this second half. Christian Kuntz, a big reason why. Dolphins also picking it up defensively here in this second half. They allowed 41 to the Pioneers in the first half, just 23 here in the second half so far. And an offensive foul. That's a moving screen. Another good call. R.J. Bell doesn't like it, but it's absolutely the correct call. This group of officials, they took their brain tonic today. They have been on it. It's been awesome. Let's hope we get this. Give me this crew again on Wednesday, please. Petrie. Trey Cousin for three. Yes! And it is all Brunswick here in the second half. 84-64. Another steal. Jalen Johnson takes it away. Petrie out to Reese. Extra pass to Cousin. Take the shot. Get buckets, Reese. Not that time. A little bit too long. 1:47 left to go. And Brunswick's wrapping this one up. Open look for R.J. Bell. Ball batted around. Offensive rebound Pioneers. And then the pass taken away by Cousin. I still think this Spartanburg team is going to be a lot to handle in the Region 10 tournament. They are a good shooting team. Credit the Dolphins' defense in this second half, but they were right there with Brunswick in the first half. Cooled off a little bit here in the second period. On a second of a back-to-back, Reese McDonald got popped. He's going to the free throw line. Paez looking around like, come on now. These have been obvious whistles here today, folks. There can be no confusion about that one. Reese McDonald 70% free throw, actually 69% free throw shooter. Let's round it up. He's shooting 70%. Why not? The way he shot the ball today, we'll give him the extra percent. So 1:10 left to go. Dolphins on their way to their 12th win in 15 games. Really had that bad loss at Salkehatchie. They went through that 3-game losing streak, losing to some really good teams. Salkehatchie, that was a bad loss on the road, but lost to Sandhills, who's going to be competing for a Division II national championship. No harm in that. Lost to Caldwell, who's going to be right there in the Region 10 tournament. They're always in the mix. But they control their own destiny. McNeil looking good on that bucket. And Nori Johnson not quite ready to warm up the bus yet as they call for time, so we'll step aside. Dolphins basketball brought to you by 3G Transport. Also want to take a moment and shout out 3-Dimensional Fitness for training the Dolphins. Running it back, unselfish second half play. Reese McDonald with the extra pass to Petrie for the easy bucket, and Brunswick running away with it here in the second period, 86-67. Turnover here. And a scoop shot there for Spartanburg. Inside a minute to go. Dolphins going to go to 7-2 in Region 10 play, and they will move back to the top spot in the region. But again, it comes down to Wednesday. Cape Fear and Brunswick for the Region 10 regular season title. Reese McDonald with the alley-oop. Shackelford with the easy bucket. 88-69. Brunswick holding Spartanburg to 28 second half points and scoring 47 here in this second half. What an offensive display today from Brunswick as Bell comes up short. Dolphins will run it out. Spartanburg will end the regular season at 7-7, go to 4-6 in Region 10 play, and await their first round opponents. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins winning today, 88-69, they go to 12-3, 6-2 at home, and 7-2 in Region 10 play. And it's Brunswick and Cape Fear on Wednesday for all the marbles for this regular season title. As we take a look again at the broadcast schedule. So we'll have Wednesday's game for you at 6 p.m. Brunswick has already secured home court for at least the first 2 rounds of the Region 10 tournament. But business to take care of first. Brunswick and Cape Fear coming at you on Wednesday. Once again, your final score, it's Brunswick 88-69 over the Pioneers of Spartanburg. Brunswick winning their 5th straight against the Pioneers and sweeping the season series. That's going to do it for me, everybody. I'm Chris Sheeman. You enjoy the rest of your weekend, and